Hi everyone. Part 2 of this presentation, I am going to discuss about virtual classroom management strategies that can be used to make online learning more effective and efficient. After listening to this session, you should be able to define what is a virtual classroom and virtual classroom management. Explain the goals and principles of virtual classroom management. Understand whether traditional classroom management strategies, procedures, and approaches can apply in the virtual classrooms. Understand the various functions teachers should perform in virtual classroom management. Explain the importance of virtual classroom management, and finally, practice virtual classroom management strategies that can be used for making online teaching and learning more efficient and effective. First of all, I would like to give you a brief introduction about the importance of virtual classroom management. We all know that the beginning of 2020 has been a very difficult time for the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly in the field of education, as we all had to start online schooling. It is obvious that teachers and students across the world were driven into online learning during this pandemic. With this new initiative, both teachers and students in most of the countries across the world have to face for immense challenges. This is because of the lack of access to resources and training. Therefore, online learning is novel and hence challenging for most teachers and students. However, it is very important to remember that whether learning happens in a physical classroom or online, effective classroom management is the key to a productive teaching learning process, as the quality of teaching learning depends on classroom management. Therefore, teachers as classroom managers must pay significant attention on managing student behavior and engagement even in online learning. For this, it is very important to identify the challenges of online teaching learning environments. The recent research findings say that the most of the challenges in online learning emerge from student engagement, because when learning online, students don't get the benefit of a teacher's physical presence, as there is no room for teachers to move around the classroom and engage in monitoring students' work. Not only that, but it is very challenging for students to maintain their motivation, but it is even more challenging for teachers to motivate the students distantly. On the other hand, students are able to become more independent in online learning as they are not in a physical classroom. Moreover, having access to too much technology, students can create unexpected problems and challenges. For instance, students can waste their valuable time being troublesome and not engaging in lessons productively, as well as being dishonest and engaging in plagiarism. Even though students are online or physical, they still need to control their behavior so that they can be self-regulated and hence be more successful. Therefore, teachers as virtual classroom managers need to think how they can make their virtual classroom more pleasant, effective, interactive, and also rewarding. Not only that, but also they have to think about which traditional classroom management strategies, procedures, and approaches can apply in the virtual classroom. What teaching styles and methods can be used to be more efficient and effective in their online instruction. Therefore, teachers need to start improving virtual classroom management skills. In this process, it is imperative to make sure that they have planned their lessons in advance, incorporating appropriate activities which suits to different age levels and grades, and create well-structured lessons to help them with time management in the virtual classroom. Therefore, it is the responsibility and the accountability of the virtual classroom manager to keep their students well focused throughout the lesson. Moving on to next section of this presentation, we need to recognize what is a virtual classroom. Virtual classroom is an online learning environment that allows teachers and students to communicate, interact, collaborate, and express their ideas. Virtual classroom is a digital teaching learning environment that allows teachers and students to connect online in real time. Virtual classrooms use video conferencing, online whiteboards, and screen sharing to let teachers hold live teaching discussions with students in an interactive way, and also virtual meetings, etc. Virtual classrooms are expected to replicate the experience of physical classrooms with the added benefits of file sharing, instant feedback, and interactions. Also, virtual classroom has been identified, and it refers to an online system that allows students and teachers to communicate and collaborate. Virtual classrooms are typically cloud-based learning solutions that are part of large learning management system. They are highly customizable and are accessible to users on a variety of devices like smartphones, tablets, and laptops. Then, what is virtual classroom management? As you recognize physical classroom management, you can simply say management of both physical and human resources inside the virtual classroom effectively and efficiently. Or virtual classroom management can be identified as the actions teachers take to establish and sustain an environment that fosters students' academic achievements as well as their social, emotional, and moral growth. Virtual classroom management is becoming more challenging as schools turn to online teaching learning atmosphere. Fortunately, the skills teachers use to manage classroom physically can easily convert to virtual classroom instruction. However, it is very important to keep that in mind. There are a few extra skills to obtain that specifically will apply to successfully manage in a virtual classroom. What are the main goals and principles of virtual classroom management? The main goals are to create and maintain a positive, productive learning environment, to support and encourage a safe classroom community. When considering the principles of virtual classroom management, there are three main principles, same as physical classroom management principles. To deal with disruptive behaviors, teach students to manage their own behavior, and students learn to be on task and engage in the learning activities you have planned for them. Therefore, just to let you know, there is no difference between the main goals and principles of virtual classroom management and physical classroom management. Moving on to various activities that teachers should perform in the virtual classroom management are also the same. Just like physical classroom management, teachers had to engage in all the managerial functions. Even in the virtual classrooms, teachers have to engage in all these managerial functions introduced by the Henry Fayol, the scientific management philosopher. There, teachers have to perform in various activities such as planning, organizing, coordinating, directing, and controlling. Therefore, it doesn't matter whether learning happens online or physical. Teachers as classroom managers, of course, still need to pay careful attention in engaging in all these managerial activities. They have to plan their lessons in advance. They have to set teaching learning aids. They have to think about and plan out the best suit teaching methodologies and evaluation process, as well as time management. So therefore, teachers as virtual classroom managers, they have to perform all the managerial activities. Same like physical classroom. We need to understand what are the virtual classroom management strategies that teachers can be used to make their teaching and student learning more effective. So there, teachers of course have to set rules and expectations. In this, discuss the rules with your students. Inform them that they are going to be part of the process of establishing rules. Motivate your students to share their ideas and suggestions, which is based on the lesson. Make sure there are no distractions. All phones should be muted, and encourage the students to keep all the other stuff that is not related to lesson away. Be polite and respectful to your students. Explain what language and expressions are allowed and not in your virtual classroom. Dress code also important. Explain to your students what they should wear during online lessons. For an example, pajamas are not acceptable for participating in virtual classroom lessons. Students, of course, should be ready to appear in the screen when they are asked to do so. Therefore, they have to wear an appropriate cloth. Show your students which type of behavior you expect from them. Before explaining, first of all, you need to make sure whether you follow the rules. Otherwise, your students will notice that you are telling them to follow the rules when you are not, which can create unexpected problems related to discipline. Therefore, try your best to be a good role model to your students so that they can follow you very easily. Explain to your students how to communicate in the virtual classroom without any interruptions. For an example, explain to your students how to raise their hands if they want to ask a question and answer questions. Even express their thoughts and ideas, suggestions. For this, teachers can ask their students to use the chat box. Set up a routine. The students feel more comfortable, confident, and are in a better position to engage in lessons when the classroom environment is learner-friendly and the study process is well established. If the students know the consequences of breaking the rules and regulations, there is a low chance of them doing it. Once teachers create a well-established lesson routine, they should follow it accordingly. For instance, what you do at the beginning of each lesson should be continued daily for each class. Remember, having a well-established routine for both at the beginning and end of each virtual class is more efficient and effective. Handle discipline issues in the virtual classroom immediately. Every teacher has to face for discipline issues related to students' disruptive behavior, and handling such behaviors is inevitable. Therefore, teachers as virtual classroom managers must take immediate actions to solve such issues, paying considerable attention, just like in the physical classrooms. When dealing with disruptive behaviors, teachers must choose the most appropriate strategies to help control the situation. It is important to talk to each and every student who exhibit disciplinary issues after finishing each lesson so that they can correct their behavior. Therefore, teachers as virtual classroom managers need to take necessary actions to handle disciplinary issues immediately. Motivate every student to ask questions, answer and present their suggestions and thoughts. The most significant thing in virtual teaching is to make sure that all students are interactively participating in the lessons. Therefore, it is very important to encourage everyone in the virtual class to ask questions and also to answer questions. To make the lesson more interesting, teachers can include different types of group activities when planning the lesson. This paves the way for students to work in different breakout rooms. When engaging in future activities, teachers can change the members in the groups so that students can learn to work and interact with different classmates. Remember that teachers should keep a record about which students are interacting the most so that they can motivate the less interacting students to be more enthusiastic. It is needed to persuade students in improving a variety of life skills and to be fair and square. Engage collaboration. Encourage collaboration. Online learning and virtual classrooms are not better or worse than physical classroom. In fact, they are different and therefore need different form of support. In online learning, students may feel more bored and isolated. Therefore, it is very important to provide more opportunities for them to be more collaborative. For this, teachers need to create positive relationships among themselves and students in cultivating an effective learning atmosphere. Remember that friendship among students is vital during online learning as well as physical learning. Create a learner-friendly environment. A learner-friendly environment is essential for your virtual classroom as it clears students' minds, makes them interested in the lesson, and they are more likely to acquire higher motivation that leads to wonderful learning outcomes where positive attitudes and inculcated and rewards are motivated. Try to be a fair and friendly teacher for each and every student who are in different ages and grades. Appreciate your students. One of the most important virtual classroom management strategies is that teachers should create a reward system for their students. In fact, this would help teachers to decide how they can appreciate their students when they perform well. Therefore, find different ways of appreciating students who are in different grade levels. For an example, teachers can award young learners with stars, stickers, certificates, badges, etc. And they can award adult learners with tokens and reward trips for the students with both good behavior, high levels of attendance and achievements. Show your confidence in teaching. One of the most significant and important strategies of virtual classroom management. To show your confidence in teaching, teachers have to engage in prior preparation. Prior preparation, of course, supports for teachers to show their confidence and how much they love and enjoy teaching to their students. Supports teachers to stay away from stressful situations. Prior preparation supposed to make the virtual classroom more interactive and interesting. It helps to decide the form of solutions to other problems that might arise in the virtual classroom and prepare teachers' response. The more teachers practice online teaching, the better they will be able to manage their virtual classroom with their own unique style. Therefore, plan your lesson incorporating intended learning outcomes, the best suited teaching learning aids, methodologies, group activities, and methods of evaluation, etc. And don't forget not to plan lesson at the last moment. Otherwise, your students will see your uncertainty. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you very much.